before we get started, I just wanted to tell you a couple of things. First of all, I have everybody muted in the webinar. In the past, we would probably have a call-in where you could call on the phone and do this webinar, but we figured out that was not a great idea. People would leave and put their phone on hold, and we'd hear everyone's hold music or hear other people's conversations with people in their office. So we decided to just use the computer instead. So I hope it's working well for everybody. Hopefully you can hear me and hopefully you can see my screen. So if you've got any problems, let me know. In the room with me today, I have Randy Smith and Darlene Bartlett, who you probably are familiar with, and Tarya, who is also a researcher, is in here with me as well. So I am going to go ahead and get started. We'll talk a little bit about the student data portal, and then I will actually be walking you through the website step by step and show you how to go ahead and report your data this year. So here we go. Maybe. Okay.
Thomas can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything. Well, she can't hear me talking right now, so that won't help her. Can you try to troubleshoot with her? See if she needs speakers on her computer. Okay, so, and if she really can't hear anything, tell her that we'll call her later and talk to her. All right, so here is our fabulous data reporting team. It used to just be Barbara over there on the left, and we, as you can see, have beefed up our team quite a bit this year. So hopefully we will be able to get back to you faster and answer your questions when you're on the phone or over email with us fairly quickly. Our main goal is to just be able to help you guys report your data to us as fast as you can get it in, and hopefully we will be able to help you do that. So this is our team. Okay, so just a little bit about the student data portal. It is a portal that is online, and it was launched 5 years ago. And it is a encrypted, secure platform for you to report your data, so you don't have to worry about your data being safe. We built the system so that you could submit it there, since it's not safe to email it to us, and we are collecting some pretty secure information from you. And like I said before, our goal is to kind of constantly be improving the system, making it more secure, and making it easier for you guys to use every single year. So that is our goal here. Okay, so this year the portal opened on Wednesday, September 6th, so just a week ago. We really do encourage you to start reporting your data as soon as possible. As you kind of go through the process, there's a couple of things that you could potentially get stuck on. And so we don't want you to get stuck and then get stuck getting pushed over the end date for reporting. So if you could just start as soon as possible, that would be great. And hopefully we can help you get through it. The data reporting portal will be open for 7 weeks, which I guess now it's only going to be open for 6 more weeks. Okay, when is your report due? So your report is due on Wednesday, October 25th. Please make sure that you get your data in by that time. If you are a private career school, you really do need to get your data in. We could possibly withhold you being able to renew your school license if you don't get your report in. So make sure that you are getting your report in on time, please. Okay, let's talk a little bit about which programs should be reported. If you're a private career school, you need to report all of your programs to us. If you're in here and you're a community and technical college, we need any non-credit certificate program that you want on our state's eligible training provider list. If you're a public four-year college, we need any non-credit certificate program that you'd like on the ETP list. And if you are a private four-year college, we need all programs that you want on the ETP list, not just the certificate programs. So just so you guys know, we are collecting, if you're a private career school, we are collecting more information from the community and technical colleges and the public four-year colleges. We just get them from other agencies and other systems, so we don't have to collect them ourselves. Okay, so which students do you need to include in your report? You need to include all students enrolled between July 1st, 2016 and June 30th, 2017. In the past, and I'm not sure why, there's been some confusion about which students you need to report, and a lot of people call thinking that you only need to report students that are funded through a WorkSource program, but that is not true. You need to include all students, including private pay students, not just the ones that are funded through WorkSource. The only students you don't need to report to us are students that are 100% funded by their employers. So I'm not sure if you will run into that or not, but if you have any questions, you can always ask us. Okay, so just a little bit about why this data makes a difference and why you report. The Workforce Board evaluates, as part of our job, the performance of career-focused education and training programs throughout Washington State, and we also provide those performance results on employment, earnings, and completion rates through CareerBridge. You might have seen, if you've looked at your own programs on CareerBridge, about 40% of the programs on the ETP list have performance results. And we post those results up as long as your school or your program is large enough that it doesn't create a privacy issue. So we post those up as part of our consumer protection practice. And as regulators of private career schools, we also evaluate the private career school sector's performance as a whole through our workforce training results report. And that report is provided to legislators and policymakers. And so we really need your help reporting this data so we can sort of help advise the legislature on what kind of policies should take place regarding private career schools. So one last thing before I go into the data reporting system. Before you're able to actually report your data in the portal, you must update your CareerBridge website. So if you don't know how to do that or you need more help with that, you can contact me at a later date, or you can talk to Barbara Mix. She is the person who primarily works on CareerBridge, and she has been gone for the past, I think, 2 years during the data reporting season, but she's back now. We've bubble wrapped her in her cube to make sure that she doesn't get hurt again this year. So you can always call and ask her questions about CareerBridge, or you can call me as well. But what we actually do is we go into CareerBridge after you have updated your information, and we suck that information out of CareerBridge and dump it into the data reporting, the student data portal, excuse me. So you've got to have that information up to date, or when you get into the reporting system, your programs won't match. And then it's a whole big ordeal, and we have to go back into CareerBridge and get your programs added. So if you are a private career school, please make sure that that your programs that you have match on your license and CareerBridge, and also the student data portal. They should be the same in all 3 locations. So if we run into something where you want a program added, we'll have to go back and make sure it's on CareerBridge, and then sometimes we'll even have to go back further and make sure that it's on your license, which is why we ask you to start reporting as soon as possible, because as you can see, it can be kind of confusing, and we can end up having to go way back and try to figure it out from the beginning. So that's kind of just a general overview of the student data portal. I'm actually going to go in right now, and I will show you how to get to it, and what to do when you get in there. So let's see. I am going to go to our Workforce Board website, which is www.wtb.wa.gov. Okay, so this is our agency website, and on the home page right here, under What's New, the first thing under What's New is Data Portal Open, time for schools to submit student records. So that link will remain there over the course of the time that the portal is open. So you should just be able to go to the home page and click on that. So when we click on it, it will take us to all the information you ever needed to know about data reporting. The first link on this page right here at the top in this greenish box is the link to actually getting on the data reporting portal and reporting your data. So that is where you're going to go. And before we go there, I'll tell you a little bit more about what's on the page. This lovely purple box has information about the meeting that you're in now, so you don't have to worry about that. Under that, we've just got sort of a repeat of the information that I just went over about who you need to report and when to report it by. And then the box that will help you the most is over here on the right-hand side, this gray box that says Student Data Portal. This is all of the well, it's all the documents that you'll need to be able to report your data. So if you are either a new school this year or you have reported data in the past, but there's somebody new from your school that's reporting data, we need to have this required authorization form filled out by your school. I'll click on it and show you what it looks like. Yeah, so each time somebody new from your school wants to be a registered user in the student data portal, they'll have to fill out this form. So we'll need to know the name of the school, and then we'll need to know your information or whoever the person reporting the data's information is, and underneath it is basically whoever is giving you permission to report the data. So we keep track of those. I do check if anybody contacts me about it. So if you do not have one turned in, please get one turned in to us. But if you have reported data in the past, then you're already a user and you don't need to worry about it. So just if you're new, please make sure you get this turned in to us. And after you do that, I'll get the form. Down here it says you can submit it to our data reporting at wtb.wa.gov email box. And once I get that, one of us will go in and add you into the data reporting system. And there's a little button there that'll let us email you a temporary password. So I will respond to your email telling you I got this and I'm going to add you. And then shortly after that, you'll get another email that just has a temporary password that you'll be able to log in with and then set your password to whatever you want it to be. Okay, so that's that form. The next form on this page is Get the User Guide. This is just basically a big, giant user guide of everything that I'm saying to you right now. So hopefully you won't need it by the time you get done with this webinar. Hopefully you'll be a pro, but if not, and you need a little bit more help, this user guide is very long and it has hopefully all of the information you ever needed to know inside of it. So that is that document. Okay, so the next document is probably the most important document. So if you are a school and you have multiple students, I would say more than even just a couple students, I would recommend using this spreadsheet to report your data. Once you log in, you'll actually see there's two different ways you can do it. You can either work on the spreadsheet, or you can submit your students individually one by one. in the student data portal. But like I said, if you have more than like 2 or 3 students, I would recommend using the spreadsheet. I think it's much easier and it'll save you a lot of work. So if you click on the spreadsheet, let me open it. So basically, this is all of the information that we are collecting about your students. I'll go into this a little bit later, but there's a place in the portal that you'll have to look to find the location, program title, and program award type of your 3 programs, and not of your 3 programs, of these 3 columns, and the program will have to exactly match. You'll have to input the program in the spreadsheet to exactly match what is listed on the website. So I won't go through all the fields, but I've sort of programmed the spreadsheet to be able to help you a little bit. Like this, if you click on birth date, it'll tell you exactly what to enter, which is their birth date. And if you don't know, you have to enter that 1/1/9999. And there's also other columns that actually have a drop-down menu. Like this column, you'll have to select either 1 or 2, and you have a nice little drop-down menu here that'll let you pick 1, 2, or leave it blank if you don't know. And some of these, this is something I'm still working on fixing, but for example, this box actually has 9 different options. But you can only see 4 right here. We're trying to figure out why this silly little yellow box won't get any bigger. I have figured out if your computer display, there's like 3 different settings for the text, and if your text is set at smallest, then you can see all of them. But for some reason this year, if it's set to medium or large, you cannot see all those boxes. So we're working on fixing that, but there is another place where you can get all of the different codes that you need to report. So yeah, these all have drop-down menus. So you can call us if you need help specifically figuring out what to report. But the next document that we have on here, where are we, should help you. So under the spreadsheet, you've got this code sheet that we have. So click on this Get the Codes to file your data report. And this code sheet will walk you step by step through every single thing that you need for reporting. So this has got, each of these are columns in the spreadsheet, and it'll tell you exactly what to report. And if you go down toward the ones where we need an actual number instead of words, it'll tell you what number you need to put in for which thing, or letter in this case. So hopefully that will help you. Those 2 documents, this code sheet and the spreadsheet, are basically the main things that you'll be needing to actually report your data. So, okay, and also in this little green box down here there's a link to the webinar that I recorded a couple weeks ago, and I'm also recording this one right now. So after it's over, I will be posting this one to the website as well. So if you find that you need more help, or there was a section that you needed more help on and you remember me talking about it, you can watch the YouTube video and go back to whatever section you need. And as always, you can always email us or give us a call, and we're happy to help you live and in person as well. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go back up to this box and click on the data reporting website. Okay, so here we go. So your login information should be your email address that you signed up to use the portal with. If you don't know what email address that would be, or you're not sure if you have an account or not, you can go ahead and contact us, and we are happy to help you figure out if you have an account, and if you don't have one, we can help you get set up. We do not keep a log of everybody's passwords, so if you need your password, you're going to go down here to this Forgot Your Password button and click on it, and then you will enter your email right here and hit the Reset Password button. And just as a side note, make sure when you hit the reset password button that you give your email a few minutes to get an email from our system. Something that happens occasionally is somebody will get impatient and they'll hit that reset password a bunch of times over and over and over, and then it'll actually lock you out of your account. So if you find yourself locked out of your account, then you can give us a call and we will help you get back into it. But hopefully just doing this reset password thing should help you. So I'm going to go back to the main page. Okay, so I am going to log in. Do I have to log in as, oh, no, I can do it. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm talking to the other people in the room. Okay. Luckily, I think I remember my own password. We'll find out. All right. So the first thing you want to do when you log in is make sure that this is your school's name up here. So Lindsay's Awesome School, this is my school. If you are a school that has multiple different schools, you will get a drop-down box right here, and so then you will need to report. You'll need to report your data for each of those different places individually. You can't just report them all in one spreadsheet, but it'll give you a drop-down menu, and you'll pick whichever one you want to report for, and then it'll take you to this page. So we've got these 3 different steps before you start your report. The first step, it's called View Your Programs, and this is a really important step. So you're going to click on this, and these right here, you can also get to it from clicking on Your Programs over here on the left-hand navigation. But these programs right here are the programs that you're actually going to need to report on. So this is what I was talking about where I said this is something that could cause you to kind of get stuck here. So you're going to want to go through and make sure that these are all the programs that you're actually offering. And if there's more that you're offering this year that you don't see on there or they don't quite match, you'll need to contact us, and then we'll help you figure out if we just need to fix something or if you need to go back and update your CareerBridge programs. So you definitely want to look at this page. And then this is also the page I was talking about in that spreadsheet. So these 3 location, program title, and program award type have to exactly match this location, program name, award type to be able to submit your data. If there's anything off about them, even a capital letter or an extra space in one line on your report, it will not let you update it or upload it to us. And you will get an error message and you won't be able to upload it, which I will show you what that looks like. So definitely want to check that out first, and then you're going to want to go back. And then step 2, you're going to want to view your continuing students. So these were students that you reported last year that at the end of the reporting cycle, they were still enrolled in one of your programs. So we want to know what happened to them this year. Are they still enrolled, or did they withdraw, or did they complete your program? I don't have any this year, but I'm going to pretend like it's last year because I think I have some from last year. Yes, so these are the students that I reported in the previous year, and I marked them as continuing, so they went on in my program this year, and now I need to report what they did. So you can actually hit this export button right here, and it will start you a spreadsheet that already has that student information populated into it. Let's see, I have one. So it'll bring up this template already for you that have the students in it that were the ones that were continuing. And the only thing that will be missing is this stuff over here at the end. And so you'll need to go back in and fill out what happened to them. So if they withdrew or they graduated, and then entered their award type and their GPA or pass fail, whichever ones you do. So hopefully that will help you get started, and then you can add your new students on the bottom of the spreadsheet right under your continuing students. So that is important. You can't get away with not reporting those students. We do want to know what happened to them, so make sure you get them on your spreadsheet. Okay, so I'm going to go back to data reporting steps. Okay, and then this step 3, this view instructions link, I'm not going to click on it. It's just another link to that big user guide that I showed you. So if you need more help when you get in here and you can't remember the old website that you were just at, then you can click right there and get the instructions again. All right, so after we have looked at all of those things, we are going to go ahead and actually report our data. So you're going to click right here on the Start Your Report button. So there are 2 different ways, like I mentioned, to report data. I'm going to pretend like it's last year because I'm actually going to upload a spreadsheet. Yeah, my report is 320 days overdue, so I should probably take care of that. Okay, so there's 2 different ways to report your data. So we've got this online student entry form down here. I will click on that. I would really recommend only using this if you really have maybe 1 or 2 students. But if you want to use this, you're going to hit the Add Student button, and then you'll enter all of your students' information here. So it'll give you options, and you can pick whatever is relevant for your student, and then you can either save and add a student, or you can just hit this little button that looks like a disc with a star, that's save and add another, and it'll take you automatically to a new blank screen to add more students. But I don't want to use that method, so I'm going to go back to this student data page. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry. I'm going to go back to Start Your Report. I'm on the student data page. Okay, yes. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to upload my students with the template. So if you didn't download the template from our main website, you can get it right here. And just something else I forgot to mention, make sure that when you download the template that you do a file save as and save it on your computer somewhere. We've had some very unfortunate incidents in the past where people entered all their information and thought it was just being saved somewhere, but they didn't actually put it on their computer. And they were really sad to find out that they had to redo their entire data report. So don't be one of those people. Make sure that you save it onto your own computer somewhere, and then you're actually going to upload it to our system. So I'm going to pretend like I'm done already, and I'm going to click Upload Excel File, and I'm going to choose my file, and I'm going to pick my file, and I am going to upload data. And so as you can see from this message, and you will get an error message if it does not work, it found some invalid data in my spreadsheet, and it's going to need me to fix the errors before I can actually upload my data. So conveniently, at the bottom right here, it shows you where all your errors are. So if you click on View All Report Errors, it'll show me that in row 3, there's something wrong in one of these columns, and it has to be an exact match of the information on my programs page. So this is, once again, that thing that I was talking about where the programs on your programs page have to exactly match what is happening on your spreadsheet. So let's look. Okay, so these are my programs. We'll go to my spreadsheet, row 3. So it looks like what I've done wrong is it should say certificate, but it says certificate of completion. So it won't let you upload your data if you have the wrong wording in there. So I'm going to fix that. And then I can go back and let's see, go back to my report. Where are my errors?
Just hit back.
Oops.
Hit the back button.
Went too far. Sorry. Okay. Birth date. So then we can go look at our birth dates and see in row 4 there's something wrong. Oh, my problem with the birth date is I left it blank and I wasn't supposed to leave it blank. So I'm going to pretend like I don't know this person's birth date. And that should fix that. And then I believe that I had a couple other errors in here, but I just wanted to sort of show you how to go back in and use this to go back to your spreadsheet and figure out what your errors are. So once you've fixed all your errors, then you can click this upload a new copy button and you'll be able to, let's see, I will just fix mine real quick. And then, okay, so I'm going to pretend like I fixed that, and I think I did. We'll find out. So I'm going to re-upload. Okay, so once you fix all the errors in your spreadsheet, it'll give you this message right here that says, congratulations. You may have student data errors to fix before you can certify and submit. Check for errors on the student data page or the certify and submit page. So I'm going to go to the certify and submit page. And it looks like it'll show you every program that you have right here, and it'll show you how many students and whether or not they passed edits. So right here I can see my problem is that I have 0 students and I did not report why I don't have any students. So you're going to click this little pencil button right here and you'll select a reason. Did not offer training, and then put whatever you want in there, and then you're going to want to make sure you hit this little disk and save it. So now everything that I have is fixed. So I am going to check this box that you are certifying that, to the best of your knowledge, that all of the information that you're reporting is correct, and you're going to hit submit report. Before I actually hit submit, I just wanted to show you a couple of quick other things in the portal before I open it up for questions and then let you go. So one thing I wanted to show you is that right in this area right here, if you have a program that has no students, you'll have to list the reason here. But if your school as a whole does not have any students for whatever reason right now, or didn't have any during this period, on the Start Your Report page, there is, in step 5, an area right here that says if you don't have any students, you'll need to explain why. So if you had no students at all, you're going to have to click the drop-down menu, which it won't let me do, probably because I already uploaded a file. But you'll pick a reason from the menu and then type your details in, and then you'll hit the Certify No Students button. So yeah, don't forget to do that even if you had no students. And then the one other thing that we want to make sure that you know about is this training provider button up here at the top on the menu. If you click on it, this is all the information that we have for your school. So we just want you to take a look at that too and make sure that all of your information is correct on there. It shows your locations. So if you've got an extra location on here or you either see an extra one or you have one that we don't have on here, we'll need to know about that so we can help fix it. And then here's all your programs and then your contacts. So if you want to know who at your school is registered with us to report data, you can look on here. If you happen to see somebody on here that maybe is either you don't want them to report data anymore or maybe they have left, please let us know that. Send us an email and just let us know what their name is and tell us that you want us to make them inactive, and we'll actually turn them off so they're not allowed to report data anymore. So I think that's about it. So after I'm all done, I would be on this certify and submit page, and it deleted my spreadsheet.
Just change the year.
Oh, I'm on the wrong year. Okay. Oh, by the way, if for any reason you have to report previous years to us, on this page and also on the start your report page, there's this report year button. So right now we're in report year 2016-17, but if for whatever reason you have to report data to us for last year, you'll click whatever year, so 2015-16 is last year, and hit search, and it'll bring up all your information from last year. Okay, so I am going to once again certify that my report is correct, and I'm going to submit it. And if you are all done, it will tell you congratulations. It'll give you this lovely green box, which means you are done. And at that point, you don't need to do anything. If we have any issues or questions, we will get a hold of you. One thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about the spreadsheets is that we do collect social security numbers from your students. We do require, as part of our process, that you ask your students for them. And if you need help figuring out how to ask them, or to be able to give them a little more information about why we ask them, we have language for that we can provide you with. But you are required to ask them. We can't obviously force them to give their social security numbers to you. But if we don't have your any of your social security numbers, we can't really do anything with your data. What we do with your data is we take it and we do a wage match with information from Employment Security Department. And so without those social security numbers, we don't have anything to match their records with. So this can get tricky for you. If you don't report enough to us, you may not be eligible to be on the eligible training provider list. So if you have any social security number questions, you can ask us. And I think that's about all, unless there's anything. I'm looking around the room at everybody to see if I missed anything. Everyone's shaking their head no at me. So I'm going to open up for questions now. If you have questions, I'm going to unmute everybody. So if you have a microphone, feel free to talk. And if you don't have a microphone but you have a question, go ahead and type it into this little chat box down here, and we'll be happy to answer it, and hopefully we can do that. So let's see. Okay, everybody's unmuted. I don't know if anybody else can talk or has a microphone or wants to talk. Okay, I have one question. I will wait for you patiently to type your question. Okay. We've got a question coming in. I'm just waiting. Okay. Here's a question. What if we did not collect social security numbers for the first couple of courses that we offered?
So in that case, you're able to provide us with additional data. What we need the social security number for is for employment outcomes. And so if you didn't collect it, you could either go back and ask the students for their social security numbers, or you could ask the students for their employment outcomes 1 year after exit, including what company they work for, their wage, and you're going to have to provide us that data including when you ask and so forth, as part of your ETP submission. And that would be out of band. It wouldn't be submitted to this website. But we do encourage you to get Social Security numbers if you can.
Yes, I will tell you, if you can't go back and get their Social Security numbers, the survey that you have to fill out is much more complicated than just getting their Social Security numbers. So hopefully you'll be able to do that. Okay, let's see.
So we had a question about self-employment. What would happen on this is that they wouldn't show up under the UI system, and so they would basically come back as unemployed. And if that actually affects your ETP status, if too many people seem to be unemployed because they're self-employed, then you'll provide us that employment data through your appeal status. So in other words, it would be that same thing if you didn't have a Social Security number, or if it came back as self-employed / unemployed, then you would give us that as a survey of the students.
And if everybody can't see that chat box for whatever reason, the question that Randy was answering was, if you are self-employed, you can opt out of paying unemployment. So how does the reporting work for that? So
yeah, and so that falls under the general category of non-covered, and so there's quite a bit of different types of employment where you wouldn't be covered by UI system.
Okay, Jason, how would we report international students without a Social Security number?
You leave it blank. That's not the only thing that you could do. And then if it comes back that there's too many of them to affect your ETP status, then you could follow up with a survey. We would count basically any employment, even if it's out of the country, under that survey.
Okay. All right, next question. Would I give you the license number for the self-employed graduates?
That wouldn't help. You can't really give us that additional information. What you would do is you would report them like normal so that we have a record of which students you had, and then later you would follow up with that survey information describing their employment.
Yeah, if you don't submit any Social Security numbers to us, you will be hearing from us. So if you don't have them, I promise we'll get a hold of you. That sounded very scary. It's not. I promise we're all very nice.
Yeah, and so that happens a lot on certain types of programs. You'll end up with quite a few self-employed students or students that have both self-employment and additional employment. And what's going to happen is that we'll come back. We'll say that you have a low employment rate, and therefore we're going to try to kick you off the ETP list. And then in your appeal, you'll say, we have quite a few self-employed students, and here's the exact list of where they're employed. And so that's going to come back around basically 1 year after you submit this data. And we'll contact you if that's an issue.
Once they graduate, I don't know where they go to be employed.
So that's going to be a problem. You're going to have to follow up with your students because if we can't find the employment through the UI system, and it's entirely possible that some of them are going to be employed. Quite a few people take on a second job, even if the primary job is going to be self-employment. And so you might pass just based on that. But if you don't, you're really going to have to follow up. So please keep contact information for your students because it's about the only way you're going to be able to appeal.
We missed one question. Did you say save the file yet so you can search for upload?
Okay, Dee, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. You do need to save the file. Can you search? Do you want to know if you can search for other years that you've uploaded, like to download an old spreadsheet from a year past?
Yeah, so you can see your students from previous years. If you go to the student data page and then click the prior year under report year, that green box in the middle, and then say, make sure it says all locations, all program award types, and then that student names blank, hit search. That'll have a list of all your students, and then you just click export, and then it'll show up as an Excel file. And this is the same format as what you could upload. So you're able to edit this if you need to.
There we go. It'll give you kind of a wonky sheet if you're downloading it from a previous year. But just to look at your data, make sure if you are exporting any kind of spreadsheets out of here, I would recommend copying all the information and pasting it into the blank sheet that we have in those two different locations that I showed you. These export buttons can get kind of wonky sometimes. And make sure, by the way, that if you have a spreadsheet from like last year that you're using, you're going to need to make sure that you're using the one that is orange on the top. I think last year's was blue. The one from last year is programmed to accept a certain range of dates for last year's reporting cycle, and the orange I've reprogrammed for this year. So please make sure that you're using the orange colored spreadsheet this year, this lovely one.
Sophie had a question. Do I have to submit financial records for my school? Sophie, this is Darlene with a private vocational school unit. You wouldn't submit financial records for your student data report. You would do that with your annual licensing renewal if you're a private vocational school. That's at the time that you would submit financial documents.
Yeah, we don't collect the financial records for student data reporting. Okay, Olympic College. This last year, we started to have completers in a new program, Career and Technical Educators Teacher Certification. I can read, I promise. We just realized we should probably add them to this report. However, we do not have the program on our ETPL. We need to add the program on CareerBridge before we report. Yes?
Yes, that's true. You can't report anything except for the listed programs, and the place we get those is from CareerBridge. So just go ahead and log in CareerBridge, add that program, and then let us know that you're going to need that on this year's report. Because normally we would not add it at this stage to CareerBridge or to the student data portal. So please just write us in that data reporting email address.
Yeah, and then we can go in and manually add that program for you, and then you'll be able to report on that one as well. Okay.
Kim was asking about confirming no reporting requirement changes.
There are no differences between this year and last year.
That's right. There's nothing, no change from last year.
So whatever you were doing last year, keep up the good work. Okay. Jessica. The information that is due on October 25th is completers between July 16. It's July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017.
Correct. So we wouldn't have outcome information for the students from July 2016 through through June 2017 yet. We'll get that a year afterwards. And normally you don't have to report outcomes. It's only if there's when we're using Social Security numbers to match that there's an issue with that. That's causes basically an ETP problem for that particular program. And we'll contact you at that time if we need more information. But in any case, yes, that's the correct dates that you report for.
Yeah, so we basically collect information. We just want to know what happened to your students after they, like what happened to them at the end of the program. And then those Social Security numbers that you give us basically tell us what happened to them after that. So if you don't have those, then we'll get a hold of you. And then if you want to stay on the ETP list, you will need to provide us with more information about where they were employed. Hopefully you won't have to do that, but if you do, we'll work with you to get that done as well. Okay, James, for programs that we terminated after July, we will still need to report. After that, then update the information on the training provider link.
So you never update your training provider link page. What we do is we'll actually change that for you as part of after you've changed CareerBridge. And so if you've already updated CareerBridge, you've said that the program's closed, then next year it won't be on that report. But it's true you have to report any program that was open during that year.
Okay. Okay, looks like that was the last question on our list. Does anybody else? Oh, here we go. Got another one. Can you repeat the info about what to do if SNF is sending and paying for some of our students as a private school?
So, so the only exception to reporting students is if they're fully paid by their employer, and that I assume that that's what this question is referring to. Um, and actually, what is a SNF?
Yeah, what does SNF stand for?
But just to clarify about that exception, if a
skilled nursing facility. Okay.
If it's employer paid, then you don't report them. But for everybody else, if any of their own money is going into it, then you do have to report them. Or if they're being paid for through one of our programs.
The guy who said he was going to get paid.
Okay, does anybody else have any more questions? Okay. All right, well, it looks like that is the end of our webinar for today. As always, if you do come across more questions or you get started and you get stuck, please let us know. Our information is all over our website, but you can call us at the front desk and Stacy will gladly transfer you to one of us and we'll be able to help you, or you can send an email to our data reporting box. We check the box several times a day, so we should get back to you fairly quickly there as well if you don't want to talk to us on the phone. So yeah, well, thank you so much everybody for attending. Hopefully this webinar will help you get your data report into us quickly, and hopefully it won't be too hard. So feel free to call us if you have any more questions, and have a great day.
Okay.